What if you didn't know what you didn't know? And what if what you didn't know was the answer to your parenting dreams, helping you raise kids who are healthy, happy, and cooperative? Welcome to the Learn to Speak Kid, either page or channel. My name is Bonnie Leota. If you watched my last video, you would have seen my story of how we even came up with creating Champions for Life, where it came from, and some of the struggles that we experienced. If you missed it, when I was 22, I read Think and Grow Rich, and God gave me a dream to empower kids all over the world because I found out something that I didn't know the day before. And I ran over to my dad's house and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to find a way to empower kids all over the world. And that was almost 25 years ago. Once I found out that I had the answer to literally save kids, save my own kids, create harmony in the family and peace, I had a burning desire to somehow take what Thomas had in his head and get it to you, because really there's only one of Thomas and there's literally millions of parents all over the world struggling with the behavior of their kids today. Mostly my burning desire outside of building a business and finding a way to duplicate is to have every single child know their worth and know their potential and know their greatness before they become a teenager. Because when kids become teenagers, they kind of absorb everything around them and they take it personally. Kids do actually all the way through their life. What I discovered after asking Thomas question after question after question and looking through all of his pamphlets and whatnot was that he had a 12-step growth program for the kids that came to his after-school program. Now, I want you to know that he was a 501c3, so he attracted a lot of underprivileged children with traumatic experiences or trauma background, kids who were being kicked out of traditional daycares and traditional schools. And it was like, make it work, because he was the last resort and there was nowhere else to send them. He started to let me know that he knew phrases, he knew statements, he knew words, like exact step-by-step words and phrases that would get kids to cooperate just like this. And here's an example. The next time that you see your kids doing something you don't want them to do and they should be doing something else, simply ask them a question. Hey, what should we be doing? And if they answer, I don't know, answer, well, I know you don't know, but if you had to guess, what would the answer be? And 9 times out of 10, that child is going to get up and jump to whatever it is that you wanted them to do. I wanted to share a story with you. It's, you don't know what you don't know. Now, I mentioned yesterday that I had joined network marketing. I was literally the worst network marketer in the history of network marketing for the first couple of years. And if you had asked me, I would have said I tried everything from phoning my contacts to posting flyers to running ads to making sure I called every single one of them. But I ended up at a workshop one time, and this gentleman was at the front of the room and he goes, who wants to role play with me? And I was like, me, I want to role play. And he goes, okay, offer me your offer. And so I spouted out my offer and he goes, yeah, I'm not interested. And I go, okay, thanks, goodbye. Like, not having a clue that there might be another answer out there or, you know, another approach or another way, I just started shaking and trembling and getting all nervous and, saliva in the mouth, can't talk. And I just went, okay, and hung up. And then he said, okay, let's try it the other way. And so he made me an offer and I said, I'm not interested. And he goes, you're not interested? And then I had to come up with more information of why I wasn't interested, right? And then he's like, well, most people I talk to initially are not interested, but after they hear me out, they spend the rest of their life thanking me. So he bypassed the objection where I had no clue that there could be another way or another approach or a way to get over that. So my point is that we always begin every level of learning something new, the learning cycle, unconsciously incompetent, meaning we don't even know what we don't know. So the first law of learning is awareness, to become aware. Oh, there is another approach, or, oh, there might be another way that I could try that could see if it would work for me. That day was probably one of the most fabulous days I ever had in business, because I was like, oh, it's not me. It's not me personally. I just don't know what the heck I'm doing. We ended up being able to bring home a set of audio, so a recording of the entire workshop. Now, the workshop was $2,500 to go to, but the audios were included in that. And I became an expert at network marketing because I was willing to take the audios and push play every day, over and over and over again. And sometimes when I would go on road trips for 2.5 hours, I would listen to one audio 2 times on the way there, 2 times on the way back, because I always heard something that I didn't hear the day before. Or maybe because I had become aware of certain things, I was able to absorb more every single time I listened to the audio. And so pretty soon I was able to make calls, and when they said they weren't interested, I'd be like, not interested? You know, most people are not interested initially, but after they actually talk to me and take a few minutes to find out what I'm doing, they spend the rest of their life thanking me. How about this? If you give me 10 to 15 minutes of your time, let me show you what I'm doing. If it's not for you, I'll be the first person to tell you you're not the right person for my team. Fair enough? And I could just spout that out because of the audio. So when I began to learn more and more and more about creating champions for life, Thomas and I decided that we needed to take the information out of his head and write a book. But we knew that you can't just read a book and transform your parenting, because how many people can read a book to get their driver's license and then successfully pass a driver's ed exam? They can't, right? They need some experience. They need to actually get behind the wheel and look in the mirrors and hit reverse and the brake pedal and the gas pedal and all that to know how to drive. It takes some time, right? So then we thought, okay, we can make some audios, but how are we going to take this 12-step program that you developed for the kids and transfer the information so that parents could learn how to get the best out of their children? And so we decided to fly to Mexico, because he was in Seattle and I was in Canada, and we booked a 4-day trip to Mexico. We both flew there and met each other. And the whole purpose of that trip was to draw out the 12-step process that you could learn these steps very simply, one at a time. And by the end of the 12 steps, you would be a child whisperer, just like Thomas, just like the sales story that I told you about. You'd be able to say, hey guys, what should we be doing, at the tip of your tongue. You would actually have the answers to know what to say and what to do in every single scenario that your child presents to you. How amazing would that be? So there we were. We took our notepads, our pen and paper, and we went out to the hammock, and we were on the beach in between 2 trees, and the sun was like really hot, but the breeze was nice, and we were shaded by the trees, and we began to mastermind. Principle number 1, knowing your role as a parent. It's our role to teach our kids life skills, but when Thomas asked me, what's your role as a parent? I didn't have a clue. I was like, oh, to make them happy? No, that's not it. To buy them things? Oh, no, that's not it. To control that? No, that's not it. You know, because you ever heard, like, can't you just control the behavior of your child? So I thought that was my role. It took us 3 days to mastermind the 12 principles. Principle number 2 being parents' brain versus kids' brain, because it's easy to say to you, does your child have 25, 35, 40 years of experience like you do? Can they see the world the same way that you do? I know that you're going to answer, well, no, they can't. They can't possibly, because they have to actually experience it. So here we were. We had the 12 principles all written down and exactly the facts that we needed to teach you in each of the 12 principles. But we had no resources, and I was leaving my network marketing business and my $15,000 a month income. And while we were recording, we were packing because I was going to give up my house and my Lexus. It was happy and sad days all at the same time. Extremely excited about our new journey, extremely terrified about how we were going to pull it off and how we were going to get it to you. But we sat Thomas down, went and bought a microphone, and we recorded 12 hours of him sharing basically like everything that he knows about child rearing in 12 hours of audio, so that you could actually take the audio course and hit play over and over and over and over and over again in your car, while you're cooking, during the day, while you're getting ready. Just have this audio playing in the background. And that was a way that I knew that we could share Thomas with you, right? Because otherwise he can't take a million phone calls a day from all over the world. That wasn't good enough though, because what we found was parents were listening to the audios and then they had some questions about how to implement it. We're creating an audio course. It's going to be available very soon in the next couple of weeks, but we're also going to have 12 hours of live question and answers from our clients on audio, as well as transcribed and created into study books, because there's a lot to learn here. And when we start to figure out that there is a new way and a new approach, it's like once you know, you can't go back. Even though you might go from being totally unconsciously incompetent, I don't even know what I don't know exists, the next level of the learning cycle is becoming consciously incompetent. It's like, oh, now I know there's another way, but I don't know how to do it, right? And then the next level would be consciously competent. It's like when you're trying to learn to tie your shoes and you're making the little bows and putting your tongue out. This, it takes every little bit of concentration that you have to begin to apply it. And then after a massive amount of practice, eventually you will become unconsciously competent. Just like the sales scripts, it's going to start rolling off your tongue. It's been an amazing adventure. I'm really excited to help you get to where we got to and where our clients are getting to with healthy, happy, cooperative kids.